Thank you for joining me on VirtualPBX-admin training. Going to start in just a minute here. Just going to give people some more time to get logged in. And then just checking on a few settings. All right, let's dive right in. So this is again for our VirtualPBX's Dash platform. If you're a vConsole customer, we no longer provide the live trainings for vConsole. However, we have the recorded training, which you can go under support, vConsole support. If you scroll down, the advanced admin training here was the complete training we had for our vConsole customers. So that's available to you all the time, as well as the various guides we have for the features of vConsole. For Dash customers, back to Dash support. Again, we have videos here. The new user training is actually the full training of things we're going over today. And again, we do have guides here for various features and VoIP phones, etc. All right, so let's go ahead and get logged in. So under support, PBX login gets you to the login page. First up, Dash login. So this is what you do, log in to manage your phone system. Below that, we have the VirtualPBX web phone. So this is a device for Dash customers. It makes use of a desktop web browser, specifically Chrome and Firefox. And you could use the web phone to make and receive calls just right from your browser. And then below that, we have the vConsole login. One thing about the web phone, it only works on desktop versions of Chrome and Firefox. So trying to use it from, say, Chrome on your cell phone will not work. I've tried. All right, let's go ahead and get logged in. So on your Dash login, you need your email address, your password, and then your company name. If you ever forget, we have a forgot info link there. All right. So this is your dashboard page, and let me get this scrolled down just a little bit to get more of it showing. So first we have users. So these are what I refer to as fully featured users. These are people who make and receive calls. They can use a variety of devices. So they can use VoIP phones, soft phones. They can use a web phone. They can use cell phones, at least to receive calls, and landlines to receive calls as well. These people have call forwarding available to them. They have like hot desking, which means they can log into different phones at different workstations. They can have conferencing. They can have their own fax box if you want. Yeah, just a lot of features and options available to them. Below that, we have agents. Agents are specifically for people in ACD queues. These are people who are taking calls, or basically receiving calls. They are restricted to only VoIP devices, and basically the only feature they get is voicemail. So users, adding either agents or users will increase your bill. It's just that since users have more functionality, the impact on your bill is higher. Agents is, I think it's like $5 a month per agent. And obviously because they have less features, there's less cost. But again, they're specifically tied to ACD queues, and ACD queues have their own fee associated with them as well. So that's why there's a reduced cost there. Below agents, we have devices. So these are all the devices you have on your account, and then broken down by type. And then unregistered just means the system doesn't know if that device is actually connected and can receive calls. Over here to the right, we've got the main numbers. All these phone numbers are basically what your customers dial to reach your system. They all have the same main greeting that will play. They all have the same routing. Next up is our fax box number. Basically, this is the number people use to send faxes to you if you're making use of faxing. Total numbers, numbers on the account. Assigned numbers means these are numbers going someplace. Whether they're our main number, a fax box number, they go directly to a user, they go into our ring group, whatever. Anything that you're actually in use is an assigned number. Spare numbers, numbers on your account, you're still being charged for, but you're not actively using it. They're not going anywhere. Basically, you're holding them for like a future ad campaign, or you bought a block of numbers and you just haven't gotten to the last set of the set. All right, broken down, in this case, US DID, so US local numbers versus US toll-free numbers. You could also have international numbers, although we don't currently have international toll-free numbers. Company directory, so these are the users you've selected to put in the company directory, or they put themselves in the company directory. The account ID, this is technically your account number. So you could use that for us to reference you. However, if you ever call into support or use chat, we're not going to ask you for the ID number. We're typically going to ask you for your company name. Account realm, this is what you would use to program a third-party VoIP device or for faxing out. Those are the two most common things. All right, over here, we've got caller ID. This is your company caller ID. So basically default caller ID information. You have your phone numbers. You can set them up for each one. Company caller ID name or CNAME or CNOM, depending on who you speak to. This is additional text that gets sent out when you make an outbound call from, say, a VoIP phone. Now, a couple caveats that go with this. One, not every carrier in North America supports CNAME. So if a call happens to route through one of those carriers, the CNAME information doesn't continue on. CNAME is restricted to 15 characters, including spaces and special characters. This is just an industry standard. We don't actually control that. The CNAME servers are actually among several different carriers, so it takes a few days to update. I believe it's 72 hours. And that's actually business days. I don't think it actually updates over the weekends or holidays. Obviously, if any carrier that supports CNAME is having an issue, CNAME information, it will be the first thing that gets dropped, right? Their first priority is getting the call through along with the caller ID. Anything else is gravy if they're having some kind of issue. Also, some devices still simply don't have screen real estate to show you the caller ID name, in which case it won't show up. And in cases of a phone that you can program contacts into, so like a cell phone, for example. Okay, most cell phone carriers don't actually provide CNAME for free. It's usually a paid service. But even on devices, where you programmed in, mom's phone or whatever, that information on the device supersedes anything we send to the device. So if they already have you programmed in their phone, it's going to come up with whatever they called you, or named you, I guess I should say. Okay, down here, emergency address, or company E911. So this is, again, typically VoIP phones. Basically, you pick up a VoIP phone, dial 911. This is the default address information that gets sent to emergency services. So obviously, you want to make sure it's a legit address. For users in like remote locations, they can have their own E911 for their devices. And then if you ever make any changes, click on Save Changes. And just a quick check if you're here, if you can go ahead and click on chat just to let me know. All right, hold music, default hold music on the system. This is for basically when you or your staff members put someone on hold. You've already talked to them, but let me put you on hold, the default music. Hours actually takes you into your hours of operation, which is actually under your main number settings. So by default, new accounts open up as 24 hours open office. Not really what everyone does, so most people go to custom. Put a check mark in front of each day of the week you're going to be open. Obviously, if you're closed, just leave it unchecked. For those days that you are open, you put your open hours in 24-hour or military time. So 900 to 1500 to 1700, 9 to 5. You can scroll down here, right down here. If your entire office closes for lunch, you can put a check mark here and then enter your lunch hours. That way the system knows, hey, it's 12 o'clock. Boom, we're going to lunch mode. And then again, save changes. Office holidays. You can set your holidays up in advance. One thing to keep in mind, there's no year designation. So for, say, like President's Day, which we just had here in the US, right, the date changes from year to year. So at this point, since we just passed it, I would say, you'd want to remove President's Day from your calendar here and then just add it later. Next, you can have a date range like here for Christmas time, right? December 22nd to the 26th. System will put you on holiday mode. Now, for the date range for New Year's, which now is quite a ways away, because there's no date range, you would want to do New Year's Eve and New Year's Day individually. You don't want to do a date range that covers New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And that puts the system in, I think it just puts you in close or after hours. And then we have an advanced option, which is up here. You can just say, hey, the second Monday in March will be closed. Like every year going forward, whatever, as long as it's there. The system will put you in closed mode. All right, looks like we don't have any viewers. So I'm going to go ahead and